Hello, my name is Kefka, and I'm gonna be talking about the EU regional qualifiers and my predictions for the EU regional qualifiers, uh, which is gonna be a group stage with these teams. You can see on the left here, these teams, and the top four is gonna be in a double elimination bracket, competing for the one slot going to the Kiev Major. And I am gonna be talking first of all about this is a prediction video, so I'm gonna be talking about the teams that are gonna make to the playoffs first, the bracket here, which is gonna be the top four teams in the group stage, and I have a clear top three in my eyes, which is gonna be the first team is gonna be Team Secret, very experienced team and really a brand that has a lot of weight in the Dota scene. Team Secret won majors and Poppies won TIA majors and Paladise also up there won a major and with Secret, and just both of those two are historically speaking at least one of the top supports in the world. And they also have a great player in mid one, probably one of the, I would say, at least top three players in this qualifier, together with a fellow Southeast Asian player that we're gonna come to soon. And then you have Kesu and MP, which are a bit weaker, but compared to their fellow core mid one, but they're still gonna be very good players, a very good team in this qualifier, and gonna definitely be in the playoffs in my eyes. And the second team is gonna be Team Bears, which I believe is the most skilled and best team probably overall, at least, with Fori being the best player in the qualifier in my eyes, and definitely the best offlaner. I don't think many would question that. I think you could argue that he's the best player in the qualifier, but I think most people would take it as a fact that Fori is the best offlaner in this qualifier. Then you have Fata, which is just also one of those players that has a lot of weight. Played with Liquid before and was incredible on that team. And then you have Adam, together with Fata, probably kind of controlling the team, and I think they're gonna build something amazing with this team. Then you have Japser and Pharaoh, who are like the kind of upcoming stars. We've seen him perform very well on Escape, but Escape didn't really go up to the level they wanted to. So I think this is the team that he will truly break out. And the third team that I'm gonna be competing for the regional qualifier, the Kiev major slot, definitely gonna be in the bracket. In my eyes, is gonna be C9. Hasn't performed the best lately compared to maybe 1.5 a month ago. They looked incredibly strong. But I think this is a team that really wants to go to the Kiev Major more so than other teams, even though the other teams want to go a lot. I think C9 is a team that wants it a bit more, and I feel like it's their turn to get a chance at a major, much like Ad Finem has gotten the chance. And I think they will maybe even, so to say, overperform and potentially take the slot to Kiev Major because of it. Uh, and I'm gonna be mentioning two teams that I think are gonna be potentially in the top four group stage and going to the bracket, the playoffs rather. And the first team is gonna be Dota, which I think has potentially a very so to say max skill, or like their max level is very high, but they are also a team that I think can show a lot of weakness at times, especially in their young mid player Mikke can do amazing plays, but then do simple mistakes at times and kind of make the game a lot harder for the rest of the team. But you have one especially experienced player with Come With Me, and then Garder also is quite experienced, and the rest I think are up there. And I think this team will look very strong compared to the other teams that I haven't mentioned yet, and which is why I think they will be potentially taking one of the bracket slots, one of the two teams that I think have the best chance of taking the fourth bracket slot. And the last team is Team Alliance, which I think is a team that has looked incredibly weak ever since this roster came together. This roster has not been impressive in any way, I'd say. But the reason I think they will potentially take one of the bracket slots is because they are a team that has been, a lot of the players has been in this situation before where they kind of haven't looked that good, but then managed to claw their way and take a qualifier victory and go into a big LAN thanks to it. And I believe that they can do it again. And this is a team that's very desperate. They are kind of on the brink of either disbanding or roster shuffle again. Because their performance hasn't been even close to what they believed, I guess, or what they should be doing. So this is a team that really needs. If they won't get to the bracket, I think it's an insta disband or roster shuffle. And even if they get to the bracket, they kind of need a trip to Kiev, honestly, for it to be 100% not disband or roster shuffle. But I do believe this is a team that can really clutch when it needs to and get that fourth slot in the bracket and be competing for the Kiev slot. And then we have these bottom teams that I like to call them, which is NIP. Especially we see, like Alliance, they have players that have kind of clutched in qualifiers before and managed to get big LAN, big showing at LANs, like being able to go to a LAN through a big showing at the qualifier, which kind of they didn't look like they would before the qualifier started, which is Syndrome, Koiko, and Era has this experience, which I think, which is why I would have put them at the challengers slot, but together with like how I mentioned Alliance, why I think they would be there. But Hani and Trixie has looked incredibly weak in their games, and I think this is a team that isn't destined to be a team that will go to a major. I think there's not potential. There's not enough potential and skill in this team, and I think they're a very lackluster team compared to Escape, for example. And Escape didn't perform as high as they would have liked, and I think this team will perform even lower. But they're still a team that's is respectable in EU. Like they got an invite, and I think they deserve the invite. But I don't think they will get into the bracket. I don't think they will be top 4. And then you have Elements, which is my bad. Elements Gaming is gonna be one of those teams that got an invite, maybe questionable, but I think it's not. It's not too far. I guess it's kind of weird that they got an invite, but I think a lot of the teams that should have got invited had a very good chance of getting invited to this qualifier. Had roster shuffles like Horde and Pro Dota as well, and I think this team will be able to take some good games potentially, but they will not eventually be in the playoff. They will be in the bottom 5 together with NIP as well, I think. And then we have a team here, which is Team Bean, which has no info on Dota, but there's a Sing Sing stack. So it's Sing Sing, Cancel, Sexy Bambo, and then you have Celery and what's it their last? Boogie, yeah, were the 2 supports. I think they won the second open qualifier, but that was a massive overperformance in my eyes, and I think they will struggle a lot in this qualifier and will probably be bottom 3 in my eyes, maybe bottom 4. And then we have the bottom 2 teams in my eyes, which I kind of call dumpster tier, which is a bit mean, but we have the Bell Cup, whatever. I don't really understand how it works, but this team came through Bell Cup, which is IKEA, which renamed because they weren't allowed to be named IKEA. They're 4 Protect 5 now, and this is a team that is okay. They performed quite well in Pro Dota Cups lately, but compared to the other names in this tournament, they're not prepared, and they won't have a good performance. Even if they have a good performance, they're not going to be in the top 4 and being able to get a chance at the bracket. Sorry, I need some water. And a team very similar to 4 Protect 5 or IKEA is Alternate Attacks, which got an invite, which I definitely don't think was deserved. However, like I said, some of the teams that normally would have got an invite in this qualifier had roster changes, and they were like, okay, we're just gonna bring in Alternate Attacks again, which was invited last time. So I can understand the reasoning for Valve, but I don't think they deserved it, and I think they will have the weaker showing of the invited teams and be in the bottom 2 or potentially bottom 3. And I think in the bracket, we're gonna see Secret Bear C9, and I think Pro Dota is gonna take it. Alliance might, and in there I think it's gonna be Bears who takes it pretty convincingly, with C9 and Secret having a decent chance at clutching, but I think Bears will have improved a massive amount during this time. We haven't seen them last month, and also in this qualifier I think they're gonna improve the most if they're not gonna be the best from the start to the finish. I think if they look weaker than Secret and C9 and Prototo Alliance at the start, I think they're gonna be the team that looks the best in the end compared to how they looked at the start. And I think they will take it and go to the Kiev Major. And that's my predictions. It was a kind of a short video. I just wanted to mention it because if I'm right, I can brag later. That's basically it. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, or if you want me to make a random video about any kind of subject within Dota, I can leave a comment and I will consider it, because right now I'm kind of my future is a big question mark, and I'm just making this video to be able to see what I enjoy doing, and it's just like a test, and I'm gonna upload it on YouTube and whatever. And leave a comment or go to my Twitter. I'm gonna link it down below. So thanks for watching anyway. Hope you enjoy the EU regional qualifiers as much as I will. And thank you for watching.